Hey, y'all, this is Wolfie. Yesterday was the fourth day of training camp for the San Francisco 49ers. Phase one is over, which was no pad. The 49ers were putting on pads on Monday. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at training camp for the past 4 days with no pads, who was good, who was bad. First, we're going to take a look at a training camp article from the San Francisco 49ers. Start off with the first cliff note here, and it's the signing the San Francisco 49ers had and the waiving. We waived Kamon Hall, who was a practice squad nobody guy, no offense to him. Same thing for Frank Darby. I think we're trying to get a better look at the kickoff return, and so that's why we're signing a bunch of wide receivers, because I believe we also signed who was it, Malik Turner as well, right off, like I think yesterday or the day before that. Players that have returned to the starting lineup for that missed the past 3 days, except for the fourth day, were George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Charvarius Ward, Christian McCaffrey, Jake Brendel, Malik Collins, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, and Burford. Burford actually broke his hand, so he'll be out for the next 3 weeks. Feliciano was supposed to take his spot, but he's also dealing with some sort of injury, but he should be back. It's not serious. And so the rookie, Dominic Pooney, started for the 49ers in this practice. A first-round draft pick, 2 fourth-round draft picks, all have hamstring issues. All their hamstrings are just acting up. So whatever they got in the water there for the rookies, they need to get that figured out. I'm certain the nutritionist, the strength and conditioning coach are looking into this, because you can't have that, especially for rookies. I know I've heard that Ricky Pearsall pushes himself hard. Well, we need you on the field, so relax a little bit. This is excellent news. This news is absolutely outstanding. This is something you love to hear, something we thought wasn't going to happen until late September, early October. Talanoa Hufanga should be cleared to play on August 15th when we have joint practices with the Saints. Thank you, Lord. Hopefully he's the same player. We'll see when he practices how he is. He probably won't be back to normal for a few weeks. That's the sad part, but we get to have him early, which is big, because our safety depth isn't that big, but we do have great players there. Like Malik Mustafa is turning out to be a great rookie. It's same thing for Jair Brown, who was rookie last year, who started for us. He's doing fantastic as well. So if we had all 3 of them, thank you, Lord. One of the great things we hear in this cliff note is that Brock Purdy is doing amazing with his connections. I hear that from other 49ers content creators as well. He's connected with Chris Connolly, who he is connected with in the playoffs against the Green Bay Packers, I believe, and some other catches as well. It's obvious that Chris Connolly and Brock Purdy have a connection. Malik Turner, who we just got off the street. Brock Purdy's connected with him over the middle. I find that absolutely amazing. And then, of course, Deebo Samuel on a slant that some 49ers content creators said was absolutely outstanding. I haven't seen it, but I'll take their word for it. So Brock Purdy's doing fantastic with that terrible offensive line that does not have Trent Williams. Trent Williams is holding out right now. He deserves every dollar. He needs to get paid. I think he needs to get paid before Ayuk. Ayuk is currently holding in right now. The last clip note here is DeAndre Lenore has an impressive breakup pass intended for tight end Cameron Latu. Is it really that impressive? Because I had imagined Cameron Latu was much of a route runner, so you probably have to keep up with him too much. I'm not trying to hit Latu, but based on what he was last year, I don't know. What was the good these past 4 days outside of this article? Joshua Dobbs. Joshua Dobbs was terrible the first 3 days, and then on the 4th day, he was amazing. A lot of content creators were talking shit about Joshua Dobbs after the 3rd day because he was terrible, making terrible throws. But yesterday, he was 10 for 11. He threw a really good pass, what I believe Larry Kruger says was his best pass in training camp to tight end Braden Willis. And that is another thing we're excited about hearing, is that another tight end is showing up that's not named George Kittle, because that was our biggest concern, is the depth chart behind tight end, behind George Kittle. 3, Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings has been catching passes left and right with Ayuk's absence right now. Passes over the middle, outside. Juwan Jennings has been dominant. And that is something you would like to hear, especially since he got his contract. He's not slacking. And I'm not saying Ayuk's not important, but Juwan Jennings is showing that Ayuk is not the only wide receiver out there. And that's what I like to see. 4, Chris Connolly. Look, Chris Connolly is going to make this team. I know I said that earlier, but I'm pretty sure he's going to make this team. The connection with him and Purdy is just too good. From what I hear from other content creators, he's the 3rd best wide receiver on the team right now behind, obviously, Deebo Samuel and Jawan Jay. 5, Cody Schrader, the undrafted running back out of Missouri, I believe. I saw his highlights. They looked outstanding. They looked perfect for Kyle Shanahan's offense. One step go kind of running back. That's what really deserves to be on this team. Cody Schrader flashed that in college, and apparently he's been flashing quite a bit during training camp as well. Is he the best running back? Like, is he outperforming like Mitchell and Mason? As of right now, no. With Mitchell and Mason getting primarily the first team reps, of course, Schrader getting second and third. Next up on offense, you got Danny Gray. We've been wanting to see something from Danny Gray for quite some time. For 2 years now, this will be this third year, and we actually get to see him flash. He's making plays out there. Granted, second and third team. Regardless, he's still in the news, and people are actually saying good things about him. Is he going to make this team? I still don't know about that, but he's finally making a case for why he deserves to be on this team. Again, no pads. All right, now for the defense. I can go anywhere on this team right now because everyone on defense has been playing amazing. From what I hear, the defense has been outstanding. The run game is to be desired, the run defense, however. But from what I hear, Malika Mustafa, the rookie's fantastic. Jair Brown's fantastic. Hufanga's going to be coming back. The only thing that's really weird about the safety situation is that fourth safety is it's Taylor Hawkins, so it's not really like, ooh. Corners were set. Yadam's doing fantastic. Luter Jr.'s making plays. So we got Lenore. We got 5, technically just about 5 not great, but good corners on our team that we'd be confident in. Compared to last year where we were really slacking. Linebackers, do I need to say anything? Fred Warner, Devondre Campbell, who had really good coverage, I believe, at day 4 from what I heard. D. Winters, the rookie from last year, he's performing as well. Dre Greenlaw, he should be coming back from what I heard, could be late October, November. But, I mean, he did tear his Achilles in February, so don't hold him to it. Really don't. But regardless of missing Dre Greenlaw, we still have a fantastic linebacker room. There's no concern there. D-line, we got Jordan Elliott, who's a run game defensive D-tackle. Leonard Floyd, who's been balling out apparently. He's just showing insane flash at his age. I believe 32 years old, 32, 33 years old. Showing no slowing down. He had 10.5 sacks last year, and it looks like he will be going into this season with that same fire, that same energy, because getting 10.5 sacks would be great. There's lots to be excited about there. D-tackle is probably the biggest worry on defense just because of the run defense. Outside of that, Malik Collins, we know can get the quarterback. We know that Hargrave gets the quarterback. Yeah. So the entire defense is set. We do not need to sign anyone more in defense, I don't think. Anyway, that's everything that's good through training camp for the past 4 days, who has been flashing, who's been showing up. Now, the one bright spot in the grand scheme of things throughout this training camp with Williams holding out, Ayuk holding in, there's not much bad. There's not that much going on that's going to be like, oh, this is super concerning. There's one thing that's like, oh, okay, we need to address this. This is our one big issue, one big blemish on the team. Let's talk about the kind of minuscule small things that don't really affect the starting position. One, Samuel Womack. Samuel Womack, who looked like a stud 2 years ago when he first started. First preseason, I believe he had 2 interceptions, first preseason game. He was sticky. He looked great. That dude's been missing ever since. I've been curious about him. No one's brought him up. Last year, nothing. And then this year, now he's coming up on the bad side of reports where he's getting burned. His coverage is terrible. That's really bad. I was really hoping for a lot of great things for Samuel Womack, and it's kind of sad to see. Hopefully he can get together, but I mean, after 3 years. Next up, you've got Ronnie Bell, the wide receiver we drafted last year, who flashed, some good stuff in the preseason. He was catching balls. He was making plays. He caught a touchdown in the regular season. But the moment you ask him to catch a punt or catch a kickoff, bro can't do it. Dude's got butterfingers. Dude's got brick for hands. He's got lotion in his gloves. I don't know what's going on, but he cannot catch a punt. He dropped 2 of them in practice this year. 2. I don't know how you do that. It's definitely is a way to get you off the team if you're not one of the top 3 starters on the team, and he's not. And I think he has the talent to be that good of a wide receiver. However, if you're not flashing enough, you're not showing enough, and you're dropping punts, Chris Conley's going to take your spot. I mean, he's going to take your spot if he keeps connecting with Brock Purdy the way he does. So Bell has not been doing too well, and that is a sad sight to see. Next up is Brandon Allen, the third string quarterback. Why are you picking on the third string quarterback? He's the third string. Well, we have a history with injuries when it comes to quarterbacks, and it's better to be safe than sorry in the scenario. Top end backup is what we need. And Joshua Dobbs has shown that he can be good on some level, and has shown that he's won games last year. So there's potential there. Third string quarterback Brandon Allen, however, you might as well have the rookie Tanner Mordecai come in and take that spot. If Brandon Allen cannot even make any of the basic throws, make any of the basic plays, do anything credible, or have one highlight, what's the point of even having him? What's the point of even having him if he can't even connect with your basic of third string and second string wide receivers, players, running backs, all that, etc.? You might as well have Tanner Mordecai in there, have him learn. You're saying, oh, Brandon Allen's got to be better than Tanner Mordecai. That might be true, but it can't be that much. It can't be that much of a difference between a guy. Okay, let's get him a little bit better, like Tanner Mordecai, have him develop under us, have him be a true 49er, while Brandon Allen just has never figured it out. He's been in the league long enough. He's never figured it out. So I do agree with Larry Krueger, Grant Cohn, and a couple other creators. It's time for Brandon Allen to go, man. It's time for him to go. Put Tanner Mordecai in there. The run defense has been bad. It's been terrible? No. But according to 49ers content creators that were there, and according to sites that I've seen, the run defense is a weakness. That's why we brought in Jordan Elliott in the first place. However, he is just one player in a line of players that need to stop the run. There are new players on this D-line, so that could change. There are no pads, so things are different when it comes to the motion when it comes to the speed of the game, when it comes to the impact of the game, actually really trying to lock in and get the players. So yeah, our run defense is bad. If we could figure that out just a little bit, if we can just get a little bit better on our run defense, we're not in the bottom half in the league in run defense. If we can get up to like maybe 15-ish, somewhere between 15 and 20 in that little juicy area, I think I'll be happy, because that would be a huge upgrade from where we were last year. I want to say we were like 24th, 25th. So if we can get that up just a little bit, that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for us to be the greatest run defense ever. Passing defense is where we're at. So if we can just be a little bit good at that, we're good. Last, and certainly the most biggest hole in the 49ers, the offensive line. Trent Williams was not there in practice yesterday. He hasn't been in practice all training camp because he wants a new contract. Pay him. Jalen Moore was the left tackle, and he was being abused, according to everyone who was there. Apparently, Jalen Moore is not a left tackle, barely even a swing tackle, if even that. Dude was getting abused. I've heard Kingston was playing right tackle, which, I mean, he's a rookie, so that'd be good to see what he's got. But he's a rookie, Kingston, playing right tackle. Then we got McKivitz playing right tackle, getting abused by Leonard Floyd. Then we had Nick Sakel, Ben Barch play center over Jake Brendel, and that was terrible. Then we had the rookie Puny play right guard because Feliciano and Burford are injured. This has to be the worst offensive line in the league, especially without Trent Williams. Without Trent Williams, it is the worst offensive line in the league. It has to be. We got a bunch of $1 million men on the line when you need to get some $5 million, $10 million guys on there that can actually push a line and actually create running lanes, pass protection, communication. All right, the Super Bowl. That's all I need to say. So the offensive line is atrocious. It is terrible. It is some of the worst things I've ever seen. It's been that way for years now. However, I think this might be the worst offensive line that Kyle Shanahan has ever had. And this is just asking for Brock Purdy to get hurt. This is just asking for us to lose in the Super Bowl again because we have no protection whatsoever. Can't run the damn ball. And we have penalties galore because of it. We need better offensive line. It's the biggest hole. I would sacrifice something on our team just to fill some holes in that line. It is that important. I would trade Brandon Ayuk to the Buccaneers to get Tristan Wirfs ASAP. I wouldn't even hesitate, simply because it's that big of a hole. Give Brock Purdy, who we think is a great quarterback, just a little more time, would make up for whatever receiver we miss, like Brandon Ayuk. Clearly, Brock Purdy can connect with Juwan Jennings. Clearly, he can connect with somebody off the street like Malik Turner or Chris Connolly. Get this man protection so he can be the best quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. So that covers everything from day 1 to day 4 of training camp. No pads. From the good, the bad, to the news, to who's not playing, to who is playing. Let me know what you guys think. Sub if you like the channel, of course, and like the video if you like the video. I really appreciate that. All right, fam. I love you, and I'll see you next video.